I started listening to it on the radio when I was about like 13, probably around middle school, when all the kids were listening to music. And then it wasn't really until one of my friends, he like was listening to my iPod, and he was pretty much like, "Hey man, your music is shit." He's like, "Let me show you some like good stuff." And I was like, "Alright man." So I put some interesting music on there, and kind of from there I just started looking for just more music kind of that wasn't the mainstream, because there was just so much out there. The mainstream definitely has to cater to the masses, just because, you know, so it's typically very simple chord progressions, very catchy, because that's just kind of like, it's definitely for the for the passive listener. I'm sure like people that are really into music, they will dive more into the other stuff, but I would say that like mainstream pop is kind of the equivalent of like, you know, fast food music. It's like the McDonald's of music. It's just, I guess it's like, you know, when people ask what you're passionate about, and I don't have that many things that I would say I'm passionate about, but definitely music. It's just, I've always loved going to concerts. I like, you know, playing with the instruments, and you know, when I started learning guitar, I think it became even more important, because it was a different way to connect with music. Like, you know, I started trying to learn the songs that I would hear, and it's just they just kind of built upon each other. You get a different perspective of the music, because you can just like listen to something, but when you play an instrument, you kind of start deciphering the song. You know, you're like, oh, that's cool, like what they did, or it really makes you appreciate it, I would think, more, because if you spent many like hours playing guitar and then you hear like metal or anything, you're really like, wow, like that took a lot of effort, you know. Same thing with drums, or like it just makes you appreciate it more. If you ever get the opportunity, I would say like learn an instrument. Like, you know, it's a great hobby, you know.